Hi, I'm Sheilaa Hite, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about this week. Also, to talk to you about the next 3.5 weeks. The next 3.5 weeks? That's because Mercury, the planet of communication, of roadways, of plans, is going retrograde in a couple of hours. So as of about 1:10 on the morning of the 27th of September, Eastern Time, Mercury goes retrograde. It will be in the sign of Libra, the sign of balance, the sign of relationships, the sign of value, self-value, the sign of negotiation and diplomacy. So Mercury, which is really important to negotiations and diplomacy, will be going retrograde. And for all of us in the sign of Libra, what it means, among other things, is the theme, the basic theme that I keep seeing, hearing, feeling, picking up is, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Because Mercury going retrograde in Libra is going to have you reviewing all of your relationships with yourself, your relationships with other people, with belief systems, with other things. Now, last week I spoke about relationships because the sun was going into the sign of Libra. And I spoke about I and thou and the importance of that. Also important, and maybe even more important than I and thou, is I and I. And this Mercury retrograde is how you talk to yourself and how you talk to communicate with others, how you listen to yourself and to hopefully the divine. And as I said before, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. It's time for you to take out belief systems that just don't serve you. With Mercury retrograde, there are cautions, which I'll speak about in a few minutes. But the most important thing to remember is retrograde starts with R-E. Repeat, review, rethink, retreat. This is a good time to go within and to examine, just to review how you're living your life and if you're living it in a purposeful way for you and your soul. Purposeful how? What is it that you came here to do? How do you know what you came here to do? Number one is to be kind. That doesn't mean you have to take crap. It means that you really do need to extend yourself past your immediate flashpoint. And we all have flashpoints. It means that you really need to say, what will balance this moment? What will balance this event? And work towards that. It means that you really need to hold the mirror of self-value up to yourself and see how you're treating yourself, because that reflects how you expect the world to treat you. This is a very, very important Mercury retrograde. It's the last one of the year, at least I hope so. It's the last one of the year, and it is one that's really going to sum up our whole year for us. And yes, it is the last one of the year. Just had a quick think about that. Did some astrology math. So here we are with looking at what is the balance? What have we done? What are we doing? What are we hoping to do? What are your plans? And it all does start with you. This is a time when it might be a little off-putting this coming week especially, because there are a lot of things happening with the planet Venus, self-value, relationships, wholeness and healing, and the planet Mercury, which I'm talking about with Mercury retrograde, with a little bit of Pluto thrown in, which is transformation and hard, cold truths, or hard, hot truths, Pluto being a hot planet. This is really about appreciating yourself, appreciating where you are, and contemplating. And that's the great thing about the retrograde, is the retrograde literally passes over a point 3 times. It's here, passes over this point, it comes back, so it has a rethink, and it gets clear about what it is, and then passes over that point for good on this go-round. So make a list, and this is really serious as Mercury is going retrograde, and do some free association. Make the list, and instead of sitting going, what are the things that I need to really be working on? Sit with your pen in hand and paper. I recommend that as opposed to the computer. And start just jotting down whatever comes to mind, whoever comes to mind. And look at this list after a while and notice who and what on the list really stand out for you. And notice how you can go back in and take time on an inner level to reconfigure your relationship with yourself about these people, about these relationships, about these events. It's very important that we take care of ourselves. The planet Venus is extremely important. Venus rules Libra, and so Venus is self-value. Venus is relationships. It's diplomacy. Venus is also healing, and it is very important. This is a time for you to say, I'm going to finish out this year really working on what is going to move me forward into the next year and the next phase of my life by determining where I'm balanced and shoring that up, where I'm imbalanced and balancing myself. It's an excellent week. It's although a bit trying because of the retrograde. This retrograde is going to be intense. It's already started that way, even before the shadow period. For the last 6 or so weeks, it's been pretty heavy. And hopefully you will not panic. Do not take it personally, but do personally take care of what you need to take care of. Go forward knowing that the going forward is moving you from one phase to another. And it's a big phase. It's a big step. It is Libra. Remember that socializing is important, but be clear when you make your plans that you're clear because Mercury retrograde is involved. So social events are important. Being with people are important. Being with yourself is important. And so on that note, I'm going to say it again. Mercury retrograde is important. Don't buy big ticket items. This is not a time to sign contracts or to buy houses or to buy cars. This is not a time to make commitments that you know in your heart you don't wish to commit to. Do not sit and please others for the sake of pleasing others. Please yourself. This is important. Vote for yourself. This Mercury retrograde in Libra is telling you, vote for yourself and look at what has you voting against yourself. Your own best and self-interest are really important here, as well as the collective. But you are a part of the collective too. Love yourself. Treat yourself well. Retreat. Go within. Review. Take a look at again, and know how you're going to move forward. A big embrace to you, a big hug, and I'll see you on next week. And remember, we've got about 3.5 weeks until October 18th. Mercury will be retrograde, so let's tread lightly. Lots of joy to you. Take care. Bye.